There are three kinds of women you'll run into the moment you try to start a conversation. Not based on looks, not based on personality type, based on one thing only: how guarded she is in that exact moment. I call them the red woman, the yellow woman, and the green woman. And here's the part that took me years of watching this play out to actually believe. A guy can walk up to a red woman with all the right lines and get absolutely nothing. Another guy can walk up to a green woman with barely anything to say and still walk away with her number. Same words, different color, different outcome. Once you understand that, you'll never approach a woman the same way again. If this already sounds familiar, subscribe right now, because what I'm about to show you is going to change how you read every woman you talk to from here on out. Here's the thing, you've been told the fix is better words, sharper openers, deeper questions, more confidence. None of that is wrong exactly. The problem is how it gets used. Men treat it like a script they apply to whoever's standing in front of them, and women feel that instantly. Not because she's suspicious, because a script doesn't change color to match the person it's being said to. So think back to your last real conversation with a woman you actually wanted. Were you watching her, or were you already rehearsing your next line while she was still talking? Most men aren't having a conversation. They're giving a performance, and she feels the gap immediately, even if she can't explain it. There's a finding from relationship research that quietly wrecks most dating advice. I'll tell you exactly what it is. But first, I need to show you what's getting in the way of you ever using it. Most men think connection comes from saying the right thing at the right time. Compliment her well, ask the deep question on cue, and connection follows. It sounds logical. It also fails constantly, even when every box gets checked, because connection was never about the words. It was about whether the words matched the color she was already in. Psychologist John Gottman spent decades studying what actually makes two people feel close, and one word keeps surfacing above the rest: attunement. Not charm, not chemistry. Attunement, reading what's happening in her right now and responding to that instead of a line you decided on beforehand. That's all the color is. Red means guarded. She's testing whether you're safe. Yellow means undecided. She's choosing in real time whether to lean in or step back. Green means open. She's already met you halfway. Words don't create the color. They only land if they match the color that's already there. Here's the catch most men trip on. To read her color accurately, you have to actually be present with her instead of monitoring how you're doing. The second you start scanning her face for approval, checking if she's impressed, narrating your own performance in your head, you've stopped reading her color and started reading yourself. It's like trying to read a traffic light while reciting your own driving test from memory. You'll miss the actual light every time. And some men, once they hear this, overcorrect. They turn reading her color into an interrogation, analyzing every pause, treating silence like a coded message. That's not attunement. That's anxiety wearing a clever name. If that's you, you're not broken. You're one adjustment away from doing this right. Think about the last low-pressure conversation you had with a woman you had zero interest in. A cashier? A co-worker? It felt easy, didn't it? No performance, no second guessing. Here's the irony. You were probably more attractive in that moment than on any date you actually cared about. That ease wasn't an accident of low stakes. That ease is the goal. The shift is simple. Stop trying to make the interaction go well. Start trying to find out what color she's actually in. One is a performance, the other is observation. Observation is what lets you respond to a real person instead of an imagined outcome. Here's where it usually falls apart. Things start going well. She's clearly green, the conversation is flowing, and that's exactly when a man tries to lock it down. He names the moment, asks if she's having a good time, fishes for reassurance that it's working. The second he asks her to confirm the color out loud, it changes. Naming the moment kills it. I know that feels unfair, especially if you're an honest person who just wants clarity. It is unfair, but understanding it is still useful. because it tells you exactly where to stop. Reading color isn't about going cold or pulling away. That's not mystery. That's just disengagement, and most advice never makes that distinction clear. Esther Perel has written about this for years. Desire needs a little distance to breathe, but distance is not the same as withdrawal. And here's the real message underneath all of this. Most men don't actually want connection. They want approval. They're not reading her color to understand her. They're reading it to find out if they're winning. That need leaks through no matter how well you think you're hiding it. And it's why every color framework collapses the moment it's used as a scoreboard instead of a skill. So, the identity that actually attracts people isn't the man chasing the right color. It's the man who's simply observing with no attachment to what he finds. Chasing a color is auditioning. Reading a color is just paying attention. One repels, the other draws people in without trying. Next time you talk to a woman, don't ask yourself, how do I get her to green? Ask yourself, what color is she in right now, and am I actually paying attention to it? That one question will tell you more than any line ever will. If this helped you see conversations differently, this channel exists for men who are done performing and ready to actually understand women instead. Subscribe if that's you, and if you're looking for where to go next, my previous video on how to read a woman's real emotions, most men miss this, is the perfect follow-up. People who have watched both back-to-back said it all finally clicked. That link is on your screen right now. Don't sleep on it.